The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Oh, guys, up, giddy up. Welcome to the Monday night Uncuffed show with myself and comedian Jay Derrell White. What's good, Jay?
Chilling, man.
Bro, I don't really talk like that to my friends. I've never once said what's good.
It's all good.
Why do I do that? Why do I act that way?
Because you have a black friend now.
Why do I act the way I do?
Because you're around blackness. You know,
rub it off on me.
right.
Man, we've got a show for you, man. It's Monday. Listen, I've been working hard on the new set, new studio. They're running in the electricity in there tonight as we speak. And that's all thanks to all the support that we get, not only from our sponsors, but our Patreon members and our paid YouTube members. All that money goes to a great home, just enhancing the show. We're bringing you 5 shows a week, chock full, starting every Monday night with myself and Jay Derrell on Uncuffed, which is all your police funny news. And then we have Tuesday night shift with Andrea up late. We have Wednesday's news with Josh from Deadleg Media. Then we've got Com Center with Drew Breezy and Jonathan Bates on Thursday. Of course, our flagship breakdown show. So we got stuff for first responders all week long, and it's only getting better and better. But we will be moved into our new studio with a new sets each. Jay will have his own set. I will have my own set. And there'll be 2 other sets inside the studio for other guests and people. And we're going to be moved in there hopefully by Thursday or Friday. So thanks for everybody. As far as you want to support the show, you can, of course, share us with a friend. Just tell another friend about how funny we are, how stupid we are, or how much they need us in their life. You can also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can be a paid member on the YouTube. You can be a paid member on Patreon, or you can just listen for free on any of our podcast streaming apps, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. You got it. Listen, today we're going to be covering a lot. We've got a pasta crime. We've got a female DUI woman who laughs during the DUI after she's killed 2 people. And she laughs on camera several times and makes jokes. So that one's going to be that case will be closed. We've got a naked, bloody, slippery Florida man we've got to get through. We've got what else we have? We've got a guest from a hotel that has toes sucked by a dude. We've got cops in Detroit running a home invasion. To start things off tonight, though, I want to go to ABC News because ABC News is headlined this week. This was from May 2nd article. This is the headlines. Now, ABC News, pretty respectable news source, right? Like
ABC. Yeah.
I feel like the whole country knows them.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like they could do better than this headline. Preston Hemphill, white officer in Tyre Nichols case, will not be charged, his attorney says. And I would guess just by the article now, if I didn't read the article like a smart person, if I was just scrolling through like an ignoramus, I would assume by this headline that he got off because he's white. Right?
Well,
from the headline, would that not be the assumption from the headline?
I think with that assumption, with them saying that, there were some black officers involved. That's why they did that.
I know, but why does race have anything to do with it? Like, why would they need to put the race in there? Do you agree with it? Do you think they should have put the race in there?
No, I don't even think they should do that with the crime, because the crime speaks for itself. Because there's certain crimes that black folk just don't do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can sit there and watch news. If they kept it out, you can be like, yeah, that was a black guy. Oh, yep. That sounds like a white guy crime.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Asians. Yeah. That sounds like, you don't need the news to put it out there. They do that for shits and giggles, for ratings, to upset people.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's racist.
You know, but that's what they do. That's how they get paid. It's their job.
Let's just
do it,
clear the air here. Preston Hemphill did not get cleared from this murder investigation because he was white. He got cleared because he wasn't there when they beat the dude's ass.
He lucked up. He didn't have no wind. He could not run. He could not catch the guy because he tasered. He deployed his taser. It didn't work. He gave chase to the guy, and probably about 100 feet later, he was like, "Fuck it. I hope they catch you and whoop your ass."
So is that white privilege? Is just not being athletic? He's
No,
just not athletic as a black dude, so it pays out for him.
Well, it played out for him that way. I bet he was like, "Shit." I'm
So
glad
even his
I didn't.
underprivilege was his privilege.
Right. You know, I know he was like, "Damn, I'm glad I am fat and out of shape." Because if I was in shape and caught his ass, they would have did that shit right in front
Bro,
of me.
nobody wants to let a guy go like that with a mustache like that. That guy's got the creepiest mustache of all time.
Paul, what's his name? Paul Blart.
Paul Blart. No, his name was. God, that mustache. Do we have a picture of that dead leg from the producer? Do we have a picture of this dude's mustache? Wow. Yeah, look at that thing. Oh, gross. But he's only been a cop since 2018, and he's on. And this is what happened in what year did this happen? 2022, 2023. Did it happen this year?
Recently, yeah,
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So he was the 5-year cop because most of those cops were less than 5 years. So he was the one that was a 5-year officer, but they're all on that Scorpion task force, which we talked about. No, those guys should have been on that task force to begin with.
See, that's probably how he got fat. He probably went straight out of the academy because he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Yeah. Put him back up there. Want to see this dude again? It's not him. That's not him. That cop is disgusting, though.
So yeah, he's a big.
He looks like a big
dude.
boy.
They don't have a Popat wherever he at.
Unfortunately, he looks like the stereotypical cop. Definitely got made fun of in high school.
Oh yeah.
Guy. I don't know. He could be a goofball. Not a lot of confidence, but I just don't see that in that picture. I don't know. But the headline of the article to me is very funny. But after a thorough investigation, reading all of the body camera footage, the only thing that guy did inherently wrong right now that I can tell is talking shit before the chase, like saying, "I hope somebody stomps his ass."
And they did. They stomped his ass, and he died.
Stomped that ass.
So
I always still wonder why they stomped that ass.
Just imagine if he said, "I hope they kill that motherfucker." What if he said that?
Ooh.
If he had said that.
But you know what? You ever have somebody get away from you and you say, "I hope they stomp that ass" when they catch him? I've said it.
I didn't say those exact words, but when somebody got away from me, I looked around and hope nobody didn't see him get away.
Well, I'll say that. And I also say like, God, when I find him, I hope he fucking doesn't give up without a fight. Especially like, when they're like a real shitty criminal, you're like, man, I hope he runs into the woods. I've said that before. I hope he makes a right into those woods.
I had a guy run into those little sticker briars. He came out his Timberlands, came out his pants. He was up in there with no shirt on. All he had on was his boxers.
Good for him.
And I pulled his ass out just like how you gonna put my clothes back on? No, I didn't tell you to take them off. No, I carried his naked ass to jail. Just like that.
Well, I was glad to wake up to see this, though. This article really pissed me off just because it's race baiting. It's just to make everybody mad. And, we don't even know the whole story behind this case yet. There had to be something that happened before all of this to make them, because you don't just pull a car over for going fast and act like an asshole.
I think one of the officers had a beef with him. He had an axe to grind with him.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
That's what,
because it looked like it for sure.
It was over a woman.
Speaking of women,
he was on a task force, and it just because they said there was pictures taken. He took pictures.
Yeah, the one dude took like 4 pictures and sent it out like
to his
after
girl.
they beat that ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. He did send it to the girl, to a girl.
Mm-hmm. But they took it too far. They took it too far.
Yeah, you can't beat that ass that hard. I mean, because they were winding up on that kid.
Yeah,
that was ugly. That was ugly. But speaking of women and speaking of bad cops, did you see the case where the Detroit ladies did a home invasion?
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, did you see that?
No, yeah, I read a little bit of that.
So, this is from Detroit News.
See, that's that. You just told me everything I needed to know. You said in Detroit.
Yeah.
Shit, Detroit is a what? No, man. There's no way I would live or enforce law or follow the law.
Give me your top 5 cities you would not live in right now.
I would not live in Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit's one. LA. LA is the second one. I would not live in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I would not live there.
All right.
Here in North Carolina,
How about this? San Francisco?
San Francisco's bad too.
Real bad. Yeah, they got the highest property crime rate in America. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't live there.
As a matter of fact,
My fifth would probably be Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. What? Then Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
They bad.
That's a lot of
They bad.
gangs up there too.
New York is not as bad as they. I mean,
You can find good parts in New York.
but you know what? California, the state of California, is just bad. Period, man. Scott
getting
Baio,
worse.
remember Scott Baio? They used to play on Charles in Charge, and
Oh yeah.
he came out talking about he's moving. He's
A lot of people are.
He's moving out of the state of California because of homelessness and the crime rate.
I
So
saw something epic today, where a squatter, a guy, his house got squatted in, and so he went and squatted in his own house, and like the squatters tried to like call 911 that he was like retaking his house. He's like, no, you guys left, so I'm squatting in the house now. I think it's absurd that if you leave the country or you leave your house for 2 or 3 months, that somebody can squat in your house and then you can't go arrest them for squatting in your house and you have to evict them.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Right.
By the way, won't say any names, but that's how we became really good friends with the guys over at Breaking Benjamin, because that's exactly what happened. And they called Feller to stop to say like, yo, we just got back from tour and one of our homies, his house is being squatted in.
Wow.
And the police are saying I have to do an eviction notice because they've been in there for more than 3 months.
See, that's bull.
That's crazy. I said to him, listen,
What state was that?
that was in Tennessee. I was in Tennessee, but now, so I sent him an article from another guy this week that's actually went and squatted in the house, in his own house. That was got the squad. But this is from Detroit News. 2 Detroit police officers and a third woman have been charged in the connection with a home invasion in Rollsville. The Macomb County Prosecutor's Office announced on Friday. Prosecutors allege that the officers Brianna Cabano and Dana Sears, Dana, Dayna, D-A-Y-N-A, Dana Sears, and a third woman, Colleen Compton, went to the home of another city officer on April 11th. See, I don't think that counts as a home invasion. I mean, I get it. But I like the headline news again would make you think that police officers did like a legit home invasion. This, I haven't even finished this article. I bet you it's a dude.
It was.
And I bet you he was banging all 3 of them or one of them and the other 2, and he cheated on her.
One of them was a civilian. She was charged after the fact.
Okay.
But the 2 that went enter into his home were officers.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he was knocking off one of them, or he might have been not tapping both of them, and they didn't know it. And they caught feelings, and they was like, "Look, let's go over there and handle his ass." And they went over there. They fucked up. They tore up his shit. And they took some stuff. They didn't say, I don't recall.
I bet you it was a cell phone. It's always a cell phone.
Yeah.
It's always a cell phone.
He's dumb. You never, how they say, you never shit where you eat. So if you a police officer and you're out there, I don't care how fine that fellow female officer is, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Especially even if you're in a big, I know, because I was a hoe when I was in the Army, and I was trying to knock off any and everything that breathed, she had a wet spot, it was gonna get taken care of. You hear me? That's just how. I took one for the team. She could be 500 pounds and just ugly, just couldn't even walk. She had to slide everywhere she go. But you know what? Hey, if I was with my homeboys and they had the hookups, and they was like, "Yo, we need can you hook up with old girl?"
What's the heaviest? What's
the heaviest I've been with? She about 350.
No.
Yeah, I've been with 350. Yeah.
Dang, was it good?
What? Man, what you talk about? Slap some flour on her ass and slap it so you can find a wet spot. No.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Big women. Hey, there's nothing wrong. I mean,
They
she
try
was pretty
hard.
though. She was pretty though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She was pretty and she could cook.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I don't know now. I know some big women that can't cook.
Really?
Yeah. They know how to order out though. They know the menu left and right. When at her house, where you have a little shelf where you have books, little magazine rack, she had a menu rack. Menu for, I ain't even know McDonald's had menus and shit. Goddamn, she had a menu for every damn.
She's got them highlighted.
Yeah, I was like, damn, had it in alphabetical order and everything. I was like, dang.
All right, the three women allegedly destroyed his home, stole his property. Cabano, 29 of, and listen, they're pretty.
Yeah.
And Compton, 29 of Warren, were each charged with second-degree home invasion, conspiracy to commit home invasion, malicious destruction of property, and larceny inside of a building. Sears, 21 of Southfield, was charged with second-degree home invasion, malicious destruction of property, larceny in a building after the fact, and accessory after the fact. All right.
So basically, they took all that stolen shit to the other girl house and be like, girl, hold on to this.
Okay, so June 14th is going to be their big court case there. Let's see, the quote here is, the crime of home invasion is a serious offense, and the fact that the defendants in this case are police officers only amplifies the severity of their actions. Lucia said, we will pursue justice with the utmost integrity, impartial. Ali, you know it's not, because you've already said the severity of their actions because of their police officers. Listen, so why isn't it not more severe when it's a politician? Why is it not more severe when it's a preacher? Why is it not support? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I get it, but like, that's not how the law works.
They said their bond was $5,000. $5,000.
Is that good or bad?
That's bad, man. That's, I mean,
Is that weak sauce?
First of all,
well, they know they're not going to go
first
anywhere.
of all, they're officers.
So you think it should be higher?
But they went inside of a fellow officer's house, tore up his shit, whooped his ass, tore up his shit, and took shit.
Yeah.
They should, yeah.
You think they should get more of a bond?
Yeah.
Really?
Nothing. It shouldn't be no less than 20,000. I say 20,000.
Is that normal for home invasion? 20,000?
Should be, yeah.
I thought just bonds were like because of like what their chances of going to court were going to be.
Well,
I thought that's what they mainly based bonds on.
Bonds?
Yeah. I was like, how likely they are going to go to court.
That, but the severity, they look at the severity of the crime, and then they look at past records. Too.
Right. But see, like, I don't see this as being that severe because I mean, it's cops fucking with cops. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's not like they picked a random victim and fucking ransacked their house.
But they still laid hands on him.
That's
they
true.
Still assaulted him, and they took stuff.
Yeah,
out without his permission.
But he cheated.
They said he read.
Well, see, I don't know.
That's the thing. They ain't say all that.
I'm just making it up.
I would love to be in court listening to it. I can get it.
I want to know what he did wrong, so I don't make the same mistake.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because you piss off that many women where they're like,
yeah, they gonna gang up and come to your house.
Right? Like, fuck our jobs, fuck our freedom.
Exactly.
Like, did he get this chick pregnant or
something?
It had to be bad.
Yeah.
It had to be bad to go through all that.
Yeah. Yeah, he must have gave her a disease or something.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Wouldn't that be something?
Do they even have diseases anymore? You don't really hear about it so much.
You don't hear about COVID came and took everything.
Yeah, it's like everybody's got COVID now. It's like nobody gives a shit about
like
it.
I got a little cold, had a little cold. I've been battling it all weekend. And I've been taking a lot of Theraflu, little stuff, but man, when I cough, my family members will look at me like, you all right? They go,
you got the COVID?
Right. I'm like, look now, I got plenty of tests over here. I'll take one in a heartbeat. But I feel good. I didn't feel
you
good.
Look great.
I just was stuffy and the cough, cough, but other than that, that's it.
Well, you look handsome tonight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You don't look sick.
No.
Last week we skipped our almost got away with it crime of the week because we didn't have an almost got away with it, but this week we do. This is an article I found on New York Post, but then it later popped up on Fox News. Naked, bloody, and slippery Florida man covered in grease, peppermint oil. I'm not sure I even know what peppermint oil is.
Now see, going back to the other what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Why they didn't mention if he was black or white?
Right. What do you think this one is?
Huh?
Is this black or white?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Peppermint oil throws me off. I don't know what peppermint oil is.
If they would have said some bacon grease or something like that, I'd probably said he was black.
Well, it's in Volusia County. So I would say white because Volusia's a bunch of rednecks down there. Yeah. Let's see. 34-year-old Blake Tokman.
Yeah, his name Blake. Yeah.
That's a white dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he's white as fuck. Look at the picture.
Running naked.
Body camera footage released by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Volusia County is where I got my first ticket ever. I was in my station wagon fishtailing on the beach, on the sands. I believe it was New Smyrna. I think that's
your ass should have got a ticket. They should carry you
did.
to jail.
I got a ticket.
And they should carry you to jail.
5:30 in the morning.
Driving the damn station wagon, fishtailing. You know better.
At 5:30 in the morning, there's nobody on the beach.
You know better.
I know.
5:30
I
in the
was
morning,
like 16.
driving a station wagon at
Yeah.
16.
That's my first car was a 1977 Plymouth Volare orange station wagon.
Damn, and it had to be orange.
It was orange, dude.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, like
That's
shitty rust orange.
Yeah, they caught you. They just was sitting there. Look, you see that?
It
orange
was
piece of
so
shit?
it
You
was
see that?
old. It had those bench seats,
Oh,
3 rows of bench seats, and I had a helmet in each seat.
whatever happened
like,
to that vehicle?
Well, I lifted it.
Mhm.
I lifted it, cut the fender wells back, and put 31 1050 Jeep tires, like 31 tires, and lifted
So
it.
you made it even more where police could see it.
Oh, it was
visible, like,
just a
mhm.
redneck mobile. And we tried to jump a ravine, Dukes of Hazzard style with it.
Oh yeah,
We built a ramp and
You didn't
everything,
have
like
the
built the
Confederate
dirt up.
flag. It was orange, so you didn't have the Confederate flag written on the top.
There probably was a Confederate flag sticker like faded on the back from the previous owner. It's Florida. Everybody has one. So there was we built like a dirt ramp to try to jump this thing. But the engine was so heavy that when we went off the ramp, it just went straight down into the ravine. And I just left it down there. That's probably down there to this day. Probably go find it. It's probably worth a fuck ton of money because I'm so famous. Body camera from Volusia County Sheriff's Office shows the moment officers realized the location of the unclothed tokeman who was making a mad dash towards the home's in-ground pool. He's in the pool. The officer is heard saying in apparent disbelief, "Stop right there." As Tokeman continues to flee police, he's jumping in the family's pool, climbing out and leaping onto the leaping onto and face planting onto a backyard trampoline. You're going to get fucking tased, the officer yells in the body cam. Hey, do we have this footage?
That's crazy.
Do we have this footage, Josh? Oh, we do. Here we go. It's dark. We're in the backyard. We open up the fence. Oh man, cutting the night with the flashlight, cutting through the darkness here.
He's in the pool.
He's in the pool. Oh, there he goes. He's running, butt ass naked. Go get him. Oh, he does. He face plants right onto the trampoline.
Hands behind your back.
He's out. He's passed out. Look at this dude. Whoa, he's covered in blood. Look at all the blood on his head. Grease and peppermint oil.
See, I would
Hands
have
behind your
threw.
back. Hands
That's
behind
a-
your back. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. What's hands behind your back?
This is what's your
Hands
name?
behind your back. Hands behind your back. What's your name? Hands.
What's your
behind
name?
back.
I mean, they could not shoot
right
him
here.
because
got
he
him.
don't have anything on him.
He's resisting
Nothing.
right now. I can't get the other hand behind his back.
He's so slippery. He can't. Now I've had that problem with sweaty people,
Right.
but this dude's greased up.
And blood. You don't know what kind of blood he
God,
got
I
on
would
him.
be so. Oh, he is bleeding like a motherfucker. Wonder what he's bleeding from. He's got cuts all over his face. That is gross. I absolutely hate dealing with people like that.
Now, let me ask you this: when you run into folks like that, do you automatically think they have mental problems?
You know, I don't like to go down the route of mental problems when you're a cop because everybody that's on crack has a mental problem. Everybody that's super fucked up drunk has mental problems. Everybody that's schizophrenic, bipolar, and is not on their meds has a mental problem. So it's not my fault that you can't keep your mental shit in check. And so I don't really give a fuck if you're just mentally ill. Like I don't empathize with you until afterwards because whatever it is, like I know tons of mentally ill people that don't grease themselves up, get butt naked, and fight with the police. And they would be just as severe mentally challenged or whatever as anybody else, but they're not adding crack to it. They're not adding meth to it. They're not adding heroin to it. They're not adding copious amounts of natty ice. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like it that we deal with these people and then somebody's like, well, they they're just mentally ill and you're tasing them. Like,
Mentally ill folk can kill your ass just as easy as a sane person will.
and most mentally ill people, 99.999% of mentally ill people don't act like this. They only act like this when they have drugs. So therefore, I don't even call it. It's not the mental illness that's the problem here. It's the fact that either their parents, their family, they didn't have the family support to keep that in check and keep them medicated properly and to keep them obedient and in check. or it's the guy's fault that he didn't keep himself in check. I don't know, but once I get there, like that's not my problem.
Right.
Like you're a naked, greased up, peppermint oiled, bloody dude who's breaking the law, and I've now become your consequence.
Yeah,
and I got to wrap you up. Like I'm not
because
getting all caught up in your mental bullshit.
I mean, you never hear a bloody, sweated, naked body person going to a fast food restaurant trying to serve hamburgers or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do something productive.
Yeah.
Why they breaking the law?
Yeah.
You know, why all mentally ill people break the law?
Because it's not their mental illness, it's the drugs and the alcohol and the unchecked medications that's causing it. And they're just using mental illness as an excuse.
Oh yeah.
And to make guys like and to like basically again, I believe that there's an apparent war on police. And so anything that we do, they have to find an excuse on why it's bad. And so if they keep saying, oh, this guy was mentally ill and they tased him. Well, yeah, okay. So what was his mental illness? He suffered from ADHD? Because I've seen that. In court, they were like, so-and-so is, suffers from extreme mental illness. And Officer Tansey, did X, Y, and Z. And then come to find out what's the mental illness? ADHD? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's the first thing you hear. Oh, he's off his meds. I'm off my blood pressure medicine, but I know if I eat that damn pork chop, my ass gonna get dizzy. I mean, come on.
Right.
They know they're supposed to be on their medication. I mean, come on now.
It's not my fault. So I don't like to go down the whole mental illness. Like, obviously it's mental illness because a normal human being
you know what?
Doesn't just get fucking buck naked, grease himself up.
We all have mental issues.
Sure.
Everybody, every human being has mental issues. We all have to deal with mental health. You got your physical health, you have your mental health.
Yeah.
Mental health, a lot of people, they work hard 7 days a week, maybe 11 months out the year, and they take a vacation. That vacation, that's where they get their mental health right, not only with the physical, but the mental. They chilling, they recuperating, they resting, they take their mind off work, off the bullshit people they work with, and all that stuff. That's that mental health. But you have some folks where they mental health, again, they commit crime. I mean, like you said, people use it as a damn excuse. I mean, you have to be careful. I was a crisis intervention. Was you
I was too.
CIT officer? And man, many times we get called and you deal with. I had one dude who was he was in the front yard sitting around. He had a chair pulled up right beside a pine tree with all the pine straws raked up around the tree. He poured gasoline around the tree and was sitting there with a book, a box of matches with the long, the match with the red end on
was
it.
that over there near Solar and Lunar?
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
I was there that night.
Yeah,
he had
a whole handful. He was a Marine.
That was scary as shit
Marine.
because somebody got like super close.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yo, that dude's got gasoline.
Yeah.
If he lights that shit on fire,
going up.
I was way back.
Yeah, I was the one talking to him.
It was you. I was way back on that case. I remember that case.
Yep.
It was off of some one of the side streets off of Grantland.
Yep, exactly.
Solar or Lunar or whatever.
Yep.
I knew that dude had a whole canister of gasoline.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was trying to be the voice of reason. I was like, standing back. I was like, hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but he's got a whole can of gasoline. So if he lights that, you're all going up in flames.
I smelled it, and I was like sitting there, and I was talking to him, and luckily, like I said,
and somebody else said tase him. Somebody else was like tase him, and I was like, oh yeah, okay,
shit,
tase him,
right.
tase him with that gasoline
He's
right there.
Down. Like I said, he was sitting there holding all those matches at the box right there, and I'm like, one spark, and his ass is going up like a damn flamethrower.
All y'all were, because that whole can of gasoline was sitting right there.
And it was like, back your cars up, fellas, back. And luckily, by me, we had to talk. We talked them out of it until somebody, guys got around them and finally grabbed them,
right,
and could get. But the main thing was,
I was scared of that one. I stayed way back on that.
That was nasty.
I didn't want to catch on fire.
But luckily, you had to relate to him, even though he was mental. I had to relate military.
Right.
Military. He was a Marine. I had to tell him the story.
But you know what? He's not out committing crimes.
No, he was ready to take himself. He wanted to meet his maker. That's what he kept saying.
I think that's a little bit different than when you got one of these dudes who's, jumping on people's trampolines,
right. But
and that's just not because I'll guarantee you, I'll bet you my next paycheck that his mental illness, he didn't just wake up and just was like, oh, for no other reason other than I have a mental handicap, like a mental illness, I'm going to go jump on these fucking trampolines butt naked with pork grease, blood, and all this shit. I guarantee you either alcohol or drugs were involved.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I could tell. This dude looks like he's got meth mouth. I could see his meth mouth already. So
you boy from Johnson County? Where was it?
Oh, Volusia County. This guy was disgusting. What is that a picture of? Can you blow that picture up? Is that like, is he missing half his head? What is this? What's that on his head, Josh? Our producer. The picture looks like he's missing half his. Oh, that's just, you just can't see it because of the grease. Okay. Sand and blood. Yep, you're right. That is exactly what that is. Okay, this is one of my favorite stories of the night. Are you ready for this? Let's see here. This is on several news sites, but I'm reading this one like right from some New Jersey news. Residents of a New Jersey town are stumped after they find 500 pounds of inexplicably dumped pasta next to a local creek. They call it a brook. What do you call it? A creek, a crook, or a brook, or a stream? What do you call it?
Just a body of water.
I call it a creek.
Creek? Yeah, we say creek.
I say creek. They say brook in New Jersey, I guess. Last month, Nina Jakowitz, a former candidate for the seats of the Old Bridgetown Council, posted pictures on her Facebook page that showed heaps of spaghetti, macaroni, and other pasta dumped alongside a bank. The good estimate is around 500 pounds of pasta. They made a really big deal out of this. I don't think it's much of a big deal. I would have just sent the guys out there to clean. They say they got it cleaned up in less than an hour. I have jokes for days. So what they're thinking right now about this 500 pounds of pasta dump here is that because they have no bulk garbage pickup in this town of New Jersey, that somebody was butthurt, and to prove a point, they cooked 500 pounds of pasta and dumped it along the creek. Because it's littering, but it's not really littering. But it is littering. It's kind of genius, you know? I wonder if they just...
Uncooked?
Huh?
Was it cooked?
Well,
uncooked?
Here's the thing. The detectives haven't come out with it and said yet. But the noodles were soggy. But that couldn't be due to rain. I'll tell you right now, I've cooked a lot of pasta in my life. It takes a hot minute. They got to be wet for a hot minute to be loosey-goosey like that.
I
That's
hope it was
absolutely
uncooked
cooked.
because my thing is I wouldn't even charge him with dumping the shit. I charge him for being a dumbass and cooking it because it takes, like you said, it takes time. Who would cook hundreds of pounds of pasta and then dump it near a creek?
It's pretty.
He's a mental patient. That's fucking crazy. Something wrong with him. ADHD something.
This too shall pasta.
That's crazy.
This shit.
But what I'm reading, it says that neighbors believe the pasta came from a house that was recently cleared out ahead of being put out on the market, and said the man's mother had died, and she stated, she left her son to clear the pasta out from her pantry. So he had all that. I mean, damn, did he eat spaghetti every day? I mean,
that's a lot of pasta.
That's a lot of
unless
pasta,
she was
right?
like a prepper.
Crazy.
I
can see if it was a Italian restaurant.
I'll tell you what,
something like
it's
that.
it's pasta. It's positively an amazing case. Positive. Listen, I'll give you a penne for your thoughts on this one.
And they use everything. They used all different, like you said, they used different types of pasta.
Look, this is a saucy case.
See, Rego.
Look at all that macaroni. I would have just cooked it.
I mean, shit. All he had to do, and this is in Jersey, so the homeless population up there. They man, they could have. You know how many homeless people he could have fed with that?
Yeah, Tactical Dude says it wasn't cooked. That they were a food hoarder. Is that what they're saying now? Because the article I read earlier, the detectives thought that because at the local town meeting that they have had lots of complaints about the lack of garbage pickup and how there's no bulk garbage pickup in the city, that somebody was trying to get a bill passed, and so they did that. Either way, it makes me smile. Pasta la vista, baby. Sadly, his grandmother passed away. She passed away. Get it? Passed away. She passed away. Damn, dude. I got a lot of jokes on the pasta there. It's probably too much. All right, let's jump along. Let's jump around. What else do we have? We have
You should call up there, meet and have a ball. Meatball.
a meatball. Ah.
I know that sounds
A meatball sub. Does that mean that there's a meatball dom? If there's a sub, is there a dom to go with it? A meatball sub and a meatball dom. All right, here we go. Here's our sex crime of the week. Are you ready for our sex crime of the week?
Always some sex.
Our old pervert, our Petey the pervert. Why is it that the perverts of the week always look like perverts?
They do, don't they?
Do I look like a pervert?
Good. No, I
don't want to look like a pervert. Because it seems like all the perverts we cover, they look perverted. So, local media reports that David Neal, 52, is arrested by Metro Nashville Police Department and charged with aggravated burglary and assault. This is a quote from here. Let me just tell you what he did instead of making it a surprise. A guest at a hotel claims that he woke up to a Hilton hotel manager sucking on his toes. Now, the dude has been charged. I instantly jumped up and was screaming. I went into sort of a fact-finding mode. Who are you? Why are you in my room? And what are you doing here? He said. It was almost like a dream, a sort of nightmare. It just didn't make sense. Why is this person touching me? Police believe that Neal, the night manager at the time, cloned the room's key to get himself in around 5 a.m. Burnham said he recognized Neal as he had been in his room the day before to look at the faulty TV. After the alleged toe-sucking incident, police spoke with Neal, who admitted that he entered the guest room, but he said he went into the room because he smelled smoke and wanted to check on Brendan's well-being. However, police said Neal never reported smoke to security or anyone else, and no one else smelled it. Neal was arrested over the weekend at his home and is jailed on a $27,000 bond.
I would love to be in court that day listening to that case. Oh. Your Honor, our next defendant was so toe sucking. I would be up in there cracking up. They'd be like, order. Remove that man from laughing so much.
I want to know like how he was sucking on it. Was he doing like a bee jibber sucking where he was like up and down, or was he just like sucking on like its teeth? Like
what was it, sucking the big toe, or did he start from the pinky toe and work his way over?
Or was it like a
right?
Sucking,
right?
You know what I mean? Was he blowing the toe, or was he just like smooching on the toe?
Was he deep throating that motherfucker? It makes you wonder.
Now I know that there are people out there with feet fetishes. I get that. Oh yeah. I don't have one. I don't see what. I'm not really a feet guy. I'll rub some feet. My wife wants her feet rubbed. She had a hard day. I'll do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not getting aroused by it. I don't need her foot touching my penis or anything like that.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I would complain. I mean, pretty much any body part can touch my penis, and I wouldn't complain. But I'm not I'm not needing it. Like I don't want that. But I didn't know that gay people could have foot fetishes. I just never thought of that. A gay foot fetish, like a dude that's into other dudes' feet.
That's correct.
I kind of get being into a woman's feet. I've never heard of a woman with a foot fetish.
No. Now, women love a man who wear nice shoes.
Or have big feet because they have a big dick.
Well, I guess. I wear a size 11, but my penis is not 11. Big. Okay, my feet, it's 11. I wear between 11 and 11 and a half, depending on the shoe.
Okay.
It depends on the shoe. So that's what I'm saying, So if there's any women out there who want to try to guess my penis size, I wear a size 11 shoe, 11 and a half.
Okay.
So I don't know how they equate that or how they, whatever.
No.
But still, though. Sucking another man's toe.
It's gross. Dude.
A strange man. I can see if y'all was dating or y'all was in a dating relationship and that's what you do. But how
you ever sucked on a woman's toes?
Yeah, I have.
Shit,
but her feet were clean as hell though.
I don't think I've done that.
She got straight up out. This girl was immaculate. When I say, she lotioned herself down.
Okay.
She's the feet, toes. Every inch of her body was clean. And I
Okay.
sat there and watched it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I
Right,
sat there
right,
and watched it. So
yeah.
therefore, you know, I didn't have no problem sucking in toes.
Okay.
You know. But
Did she ask you to, or you
it
were
was
in
just
the moment?
It
You
was
were
just
like-
in the moment. See, I just
haven't been in the moment to
had
where
the
I
music
needed
playing,
to,
a little
okay.
soft
What was
tune.
playing? Was it
Some R. Kelly shit.
Oh, it was R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say The Love Below. Remember The Love Below? Andre 3000.
Yeah.
He did that Love
Yeah.
Below. That's a great album.
Yeah.
To fuck
But
to.
see, R. Kelly before, I mean, we knew R. Kelly was weird, but he's a musical genius. He's a musical genius. And that joker had this one song off the 12 Play album back in 93. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ooh. The joker, man. And that's, women love to play music.
Mm-hmm.
Had a girl be like, hold up, put on some music. Back in them days, we had a little record. Nowadays you got Apple Tunes. You can tell Siri to play a damn song and shit now. But back then you actually had to, pop in the cassette and everything. And, fast forward, rewind it to the actual song that you won't play. When that song was on, that was all she wrote.
You know what my favorite love making album is?
What's that?
The first Maroon 5 album.
Maroon 5. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That first album, every song, just baby making music. Yeah. Girls love it too. Girls love it.
I have to say, in the 90s, R. Kelly, Usher, who else?
Oh, Usher, of course, yeah. But that Love Below album, with Andre 3000, that is a good. It's got good baby making rhythm. Like if you're into rhythm.
And see, you know what, man? You have to now see. Here's my thing with the dude sucking the toes. You can tell that wasn't a black man. That wasn't no black man that got his toes up. One, he would have got up. He would have been fighting. After the fight, after he choked this dude out, then the questions would have been afterwards. You ain't gonna come up in my room, suck on my toes while I'm asleep. Cause I'm gonna kick you dead in your mouth. You be sucking on that toe. I'm gonna try to put my toe in the back of your throat. I'm gonna try to kick the shit out you. That was crazy. That's crazy.
Do you want to hear my craziest rape story? It wasn't a real rape though, so I can tell you my real rape story. Just to give you perspective, because you'll know, this was back behind Calumet, on the other side of Raleigh North. So like on the. So, the food line at Calumet? No, I'm sorry, not Calumet. Raleigh North on Raleigh Boulevard. Those neighborhoods back behind the shitty government apartments. I forgot the name of that road right there. Is it Tarboro? Something like that? I can't remember.
King Charles Road.
Well, yeah.
Because the brown bag sat on the
road. Yeah. Anyway, back there. It was a call back there. And we don't really get a lot of calls back there. And so I went there. It was like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it was a rape call. And there's this gay dude standing, and listen, I'm gonna have to say gay dude because he was a gay dude, and the story won't make sense if I don't tell it like this. So don't be offended. So there's a gay dude standing, very gay-like, in the doorway, like hand on the frame, other hand on his hip, like leaning on the frame, and there's a dude. And okay, so the guy that was leaning all like flamboyantly gay was black, like skinny, flamboyantly. And then the dude outside that had been raped was a white dude. And so the white guy comes running over to me and he's like, "Officer, help, I've been raped. And I was like, "Hey man, stop right there. Stop." Because he was charging at me. And so I was like, "Stop right there." He's like, I got evidence on my face. And he keeps coming up towards me. So I pull my gun out and he was like, yo, you're going to shoot me? I'm a victim. I've been raped. And I was like, back up, dude. Back up. Stop running up on me. I'm like, Riley, I need to check in. I was like, get down on the ground. And he was like, man, I'm a fucking victim. I was like, we don't come running at me like that. And then the black gay dude goes, "Excuse me, officer. Excuse me. I did not rape him." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be with you." And so he's like, he's being extra. I did not rape him. Okay. And I said, "All right, I'll be over there." So I was like, he's like, "Come on." He's like, "Where's your evidence stuff? Because I've got evidence on my face. Look." And I shine my flashlight and he's got jube all up his face. Dang. Just a big wad of jisms right up the side of his face. And I was like, "Oh, dude, is that jizz on your face?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the evidence. Get it off." And I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And so check-ins come. And so I'm like, hey man, stay with this guy. I'm gonna go talk to the dude that's at the house because he's actually rational. Like this white dude is like going berserk, and I get it. He's got jizz all over his face. His eyes basically sealed shut from it at this point because it's drying up. And like maybe this is a good rape. So I bring it in, and he was like, officer. The black dude's like, officer, I got the text messages and everything. This man did not get raped. I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you the truth. You want to come in inside? Look at my phone and read these text messages. So I'm going through his phone, right? And it's like, hey, where do you want to meet? And you could tell the white dude's like, would you like to go get dinner? And he's like, no, I'm not all about that. Let's just meet and get it done.
Right.
Like, I don't need dinner and all this other shit. And the black guy was like, yeah, he's trying to get all sweet with me and stuff. Like, I don't want to get sweet. Like, let's just, the black guy wanted to be sweet and take him out to dinner and stuff. The white dude didn't want to do the dinner. That's what it was. The white guy's like, man, I don't want dinner. Like, let's just go to your house and get this done. Blah, 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 blah. So he's like, so I've been trying to coax him into going on a date like all night. He didn't want to do it. We met online, So he comes on back over to my house. We just skipped dinner. We skipped the whole 9 yards. He come back over to my house. We get to talking, and he was nervous. He says he don't do this very much. Oh, let me tell you, he's done this before. I'll tell you. And I was like, okay, all right. So he's like, so, we go making out and stuff, and he want me to suck his dick. So I suck a dick. I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm gay, so I'll fucking suck a dick. So I go down there and I suck his dick to the finish. And then this motherfucker wants to go to sleep. And he's like, I said, you better wake your ass up because you got yours. I'm going to get mines. And he didn't want to wake up. And I said, you don't wake up. I'm just going to come. I'll jizz on your face. He's like, so I jerked off on his face. I did. And I was like, what? And he was like, that's common courtesy. He's like, you don't just make me blow you and then you just fall the fuck asleep. And he's like, he woke up and was like, what the fuck? He called me a faggot and everything else, asking me why I came on his face and all this thing. And I said, I gave you multiple opportunities. He wasn't drunk or nothing. We didn't even go out. He's just pretending to be asleep. So I did not rape him. So I walked outside. I read all the text messages. Like, it was all consensual sex.
Right.
Like, the dude wanted to have sex. So I didn't charge anybody.
So you ain't charge him with assault?
Nope. I didn't charge him with anything.
With a loaded penis?
I didn't charge him with anything. And in fact, when I wrote my report, that I put it in as a civil matter. So I got called to IA because why did I write a rape off as a civil matter?
Right.
And I said, this is a civil matter. This is a civil matter. They had an agreement on the phone about sexual shit that they were going to do to each other. And the dude never said don't. He just went to sleep. And I don't know if I don't think that's rape.
Nah, I mean,
I think it is common courtesy.
Yeah. I mean,
the dude blew you. The dude blew you to the finish.
That's crazy.
The least you could do is let him jerk off on your face afterwards.
That's crazy.
Damn. Is that the best case you've ever heard?
That's crazy. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because I got in trouble.
I mean, you nature changed.
I mean, I didn't get in trouble.
Changed.
They just made me nature change it back to a rape. Yeah. I mean, I didn't like go into trouble. I got called in and they were like, why? Like to the sergeant's office. And he's like, dude, why did you put this as a civil matter? And I was like, because it's a civil matter. This is not, there's no charges. So even though we didn't do, and we still didn't do any charges. And matter of fact, they ended up like called the DA and stuff on it to like see what we should do. And no charges were filed. They said that they laughed. They were like, it's definitely not a civil matter, but
dude just mad. I mean, he probably,
I think he was a white dude. They wanted to have a gay moment, but didn't want to be gay.
Right. I guess he thought him getting his shit sucked
wasn't gay.
Right.
Maybe.
And he just went to sleep and thought that, okay, maybe this guy.
Maybe I can sleep the gay away.
Something. That's crazy.
Maybe when I wake up, I won't be so gay.
I don't even know how to, how they deal with that.
What would you have done?
I'm
same thing, probably. What else can you do? I'm not arresting some dude. I'm not arresting anybody in that case.
No,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If the dude said, "Don't come on my face," sure.
Right.
Like,
but
then I do it. But he's sleeping.
He's sleep,
and you just let that dude blow you to the finish. And there was no money involved. I read all the text. There was no money.
No money involved.
There was no prostitution. This was like straight up like
it was consensual. Both of them.
He wanted. Matter of fact, the black dude whose house it happened at, he wanted to go out to dinner and all this stuff. He even said he would buy. And the white guy was like, no, I don't need all that. Like, I just want to get it done.
He felt like he
was
was used. He felt like he was used.
right. The black guy felt like he's used,
Yeah.
and he should feel that way.
Yeah.
He wanted some love. He wanted to be. He wanted his toes sucked a little bit, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice pasta dinner.
He probably blowed his wad in his mouth at that.
I know, right?
Here's your dessert. Yeah. Here's some cream cheesecake. Yeah.
Deadleg says the stuff that firefighters get into on their day off. He said, Micah says in the chat, that sounds like a real Robin Head. Instead of Robin Hood. Robin Head. Oh, Will Gray says that's just gays being gay. Tyler Cool Dude says now he's just really horny. No, I'm just kidding. He says he was just really horny. Damn, dude. But the funny thing was that like because I did like a whole investigation. So I asked the black dude, because I mean he was being super honest. He hadn't lied to me yet. Right. And I was like, how much y'all drink tonight? And he was like, ain't this some shit? I told him to stop and get a bottle of sparkling. And I told him to get some Prosecco, and he didn't even show up with that. And so this guy didn't even bring him a bottle of sparkling wine, a little champs, dude.
Right.
A little champs for the blowy.
He came there to just get his dicks up and call it a night. That's all.
That's it. The toxic white fucking dude.
He
Typical toxic white male. Just suck my dick and let me go to sleep.
That's right.
What an asshole, dude.
Yeah.
You got I'm glad I'm not a toxic dude. Like, I'm a romancer, man. Like, I want to romance my wife. I want her to feel like sometimes we fuck.
Do you like to go first?
I always try to make sure she goes first. I'm not gonna come first.
No.
Then I'll go straight to sleep.
I'm talking about, like, okay, who initiated? Do you think you initiated more than she did?
I'd say it's like 50-50.
Yeah. Because you know the old rumor. I ain't gonna call it a rumor.
I mean, she'll wake up and give me like a morning handy, Jay. Yeah. But there's nothing romantic about that. I don't know why she does it. She just does it because she's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's not romantic. But like, like if like we're gonna like in the morning, like the other morning, I woke up first. I went and made coffee. I brought it into the bedroom. I brought the French press into the bedroom. I locked all the doors to the bedroom, and I made sure all the kids had oatmeal and that the baby was at the thing.
That's a good question, because it has happened to me. Have any of your kids caught you having sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, my wife, she'd never liked the doors locked. And I'm like, let's lock the doors. Lock the doors. And no. I'm like, all right. So he was up
mine the door was locked.
I was hitting it, and I was facing the way the door's right here. The bed, we right here, so I'm facing it. Hitting it from the back.
Okay, so you're horizontal to the door for our listeners.
Right. So I'm sitting there, I'm hitting it, and the door comes open real slow. And I'm like sliding out, and me and my wife both proned out on the bed. She's like trying to slide out from up under me, getting the covers, and here come my little son. He was probably about maybe 3 or 4.
Damn.
His little ass come running, jumped in the bed.
Oh.
And I'm laying behind my wife. She's in the middle, and my son is sleeping in front of him. And I'm sitting there like, this little motherfucker.
Damn.
I ain't even get a nut yet. If I would have bust, I would have been all right. You know what I'm saying? I would have, I would have went to sleep. But I'm sitting there like, is he asleep yet? He like, no, daddy, I'm not asleep yet. I'm like, damn it. I'm sitting there.
So I'm a yeller, dude. Like, so one time we were doing it, and my kid not like try to get in, and I was like, we'll be out in a minute. And he went and got like a penny or a quarter and like unlocked the door with it. You can like put it in a little hole thing there and undo it. And he opened the door, dude, and I was like in it. And I just yelled, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then he asked like what was going on, and my wife got all like into detail, explained it like, this is what mommy and daddy do, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, this is fucking terrible. But one night we were doing it, and I got up, like we were done, and I got up to turn all the lights off, and my son was like, Dad, is that you? And I was like, you still awake, bud? He's like, oh, Dad, I thought something awful was happening in your room. I heard mom crying, and she was making all these noises, and there was like a loud bang because she fell off the bed like midway through. And he's like, and I just thought somebody was breaking in. I didn't know what to do, and I was so scared. He was like crying, trembling in fear. I said, no, but we were just watching a scary movie. We don't even have a TV in our room. We don't even have a TV in our room. And so the next day we're eating breakfast, and he was like, "Mom, will you promise me that you'll never watch a scary movie like that again?" She was like, "Yeah, I promise." Oh, all right.
It's funny, man. I had we excuse me.
Jay Derrell is sick this weekend. He's overcoming the COVID, so just bear with
We
him.
had a code word for sex.
What was your code word?
Mine was 5 minutes. I would tell her, I need 5 minutes.
I need 5 minutes.
I need 5 minutes.
Okay.
And she was like, okay. And we would get up, go in the room, the bathroom, wherever, lock the door, and get it on.
Yeah. I need
And
5 minutes.
It wasn't until my kids were grown, adults, and we were sitting at dinner. You know, everybody got together and said, you know what? I figured out what 5 minutes was.
Oh.
And I'm looking at her, and I looked at her mom, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm still trying to play dumb. Like, what are you talking about? But I didn't know then, but I know now. It took all these years, but I had to think about it.
Oh, damn. And then your daughter looks at her boyfriend and goes, "Hey, I need 5 minutes."
Right. Right. So now if I ever hear it come out their mouth, I'm slap shit out of them. Can I talk to you for 5 minutes? Hell no, y'all gonna talk right here. Right here.
You can talk right
here. Not say shit. 5 minutes my ass. I know what 5 minutes mean. You know.
Oh,
sometimes we didn't even go 5 minutes. But damn it, that was my allotted time. That was our code word and shit.
Damn, I need to have a code word. I don't have a code word. I'm gonna come up with a code word. Hit us up in the chats with what your code word is if you have one for it. Let's get it on. All right, last story of the night, probably the biggest story of the night. This is our piece of shit of the week. Our piece of shit of the week is Stephanie Melgoza. She outdoes it. Listen, you can do a lot of fucked up shit to make it on the Monday Uncuffed show. All right. All these people are not all stars. That's why they've made it. Actually, they are. They're the all-stars of criminals, of dumb criminals. That's why they've made Uncuffed. But to get the piece of shit of the week, you've got to be exceptionally bad. You got to be a real fucking piece of shit to make our piece of shit of the week. Because we're pieces of shit. So Stephanie Melgoza, 24 years old. She had a fatal car accident in 2022 where she was shit drunk. She just got sentenced to 14 years because it took a couple months to, go through the whole thing. Listen to this videotape. I just came across this because she just got sentenced. Deadleg, do we have this?
Tonight
video?
at 11 to Detroit.
Let's see here. We're going to get it up here for you. Here it is.
Tonight, you're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you. You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I get it Tuesday so I can make my next class? She's like, I'm not talking about going tomorrow. I'm talking about can I go on Tuesday?
You're going to jail when we're done here. Did you understand what I told you?
Dude, okay, so this bitch, look her up if you're sitting in your patrol car. This is totally safe. If you're in your EMS car, you can look this up. Her name is Stephanie Melgoza. She's 24 years old. This is by far the worst DUI I have ever seen. She kills 2 people. They let her know she has killed 2 people. She laughs, dances, jokes, fucks around. She blows a .2, which is pretty fucking drunk.
Oh yeah.
Was it 0.10 was how drunk I got on this show one night. We did a how drunk can air get. We'll do that again. We should do that again. Get a breathalyzer in and see how drunk we can get. He killed a 55-year-old man and his 43-year-old girlfriend at the hospital. Officer Jeffrey Bieber appeared to be growing very frustrated after, and he was nice. Like the whole DUI, he was like super chill with her, like being like super empathetic to her. And she was just being a fucking narcissistic, stuck up, entitled bitch. Like fucking, this is what's wrong with the next generations, with these generations of 20-year-olds that are out there right now. This is what the rest, like, it's sad and it sucks. My generation volunteered to go to America's longest war. Like my generation was still putting it down. it looks like now that all these 21, 22, 23, 20, they're fucking an embarrassment to this country. And this bitch right here is like the stereotype for your generation.
Yep.
Of 22 and 23-year-olds. Just this entitled little, I don't give a fuck that I just killed 2 people. I'm glad they gave her 14 fucking years.
Yeah.
I hope that humbles it up. And I hope that humbles up all of her little stupid bitch friends, that they can all be like, oh, that fucking, that's why we don't become a .20 and drink and drive and then kill 2 fucking people. That is fucking nuts.
It is, because my thing is, if you watch the tape, the footage, as an officer, you give specific instructions. She couldn't follow the instructions, so you know she was intoxicated. But you still have to do the test. Her ass was requesting tests. I can't do that one. Can we do this test? And she will fail that fucking test. So how the hell you gonna request a test and damn it, you failed it? You know, she couldn't do the steps. They put your hands by your side, ma'am. She start out with hands on the side, and they said begin. Her hands went up like she was flying, and keep like she was on a tightrope. And you're like, see, this bitch here, you know, fuck it.
Well, she's acting like she's a 10.
Right.
She's acting like she's super hot too, like
Right.
talking all Valley girl and like, can I just do a different? Like, bitch, you're a 4.
Right.
That's
why she was drunk. Shit. I mean, she was shit faced for a reason. That's
you
why.
Can't, yeah. And so she was playing a 10 when she was drunk, but like her drunk self thought she was a 10, but reality check, she's a 4. And she's probably going to be a 2 in the next, because she keeps drinking like that. She'll be a 2 by the time she's 28.
Now, did she
29.
get an active sentence? She is locked up 14 years.
Let's see.
And see, if it was an old couple, they gonna fuck her up.
And she was in South Carolina too.
Oh God.
Yeah, she's not that pretty. As officer waited with Malgoza for a nurse to perform a DUI kit, she danced and sang.
Yep, I saw
She
that.
talked excitedly about the upcoming trip to Vegas.
Well, she was.
Me and my friends are going to Vegas, and we're gonna get so fucked
She
up.
said she was like 4 months from graduating with her degree.
Yeah, and then she was talking about drinking. He's like, well, I don't think. Oh, here it goes. It's going to be so fun, she gushed. I'm going to start off with 2 Long Islands. And the guy says, the officer says, you haven't had enough drinking already. You just killed 2 people. Yeah. She goes, we're talking about Vegas. There's no limits in Vegas, right?
You see, she's going to be fucked up. She got 14 years in there. Student loans going to start next week.
She then said, while she was waiting for her DUI test to be done, she said she couldn't wait that she's now in the DUI club. She asked for her phone so she could text all of her coworkers that she's finally in the DUI club. What the fuck, dude? She's even smiling in her. Look her up, Malgoza.
You think she have mental issues?
Oh, from drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mental issues are she got super fucking drunk. Malgoza watched without emotion as first responders vainly tried to resuscitate both victims. She told officers that she had downed 3 vodkas and had been just getting her night started when she hit the victims outside of the Full Throttle bar. This was in Oklahoma. Oklahoma police captain arrested. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't. It was South Carolina. There was an open bottle of Tito's on the floor, according to the report. I graduate in 4 weeks. Is this going to affect anything? She asked.
And yeah, you finish up your degree in prison.
God,
you have enough credits.
You know, and being that they're 50 years old and 40 something years old, they probably have kids. If I saw this, dude, I would be like, lifetime supply of menthols to whoever whacks this bitch in prison.
That's it.
I will put enough money on your commissary to get you as many packs of menthols as you want.
Carton of smokes. How many boxes you want?
Take this bitch down and I'll fucking do it. God, dude. Yeah, I would just don't drink and drive. How about that? Yeah. Like it's 2023, man. There's Uber, there's everything.
But see, that's just like rich people, man. Them famous celebrities, when you hear about them driving with no license suspended and DWIs, you like, dude, you worth over $150-200 million. You can't have somebody on staff pay somebody 50 grand a year. Hell, pay them 100 grand a year. But at least you know that they gonna be there to drop you off before you get drunk, while you getting drunk, and after you get drunk.
See, I wonder if she got so drunk that she didn't even know. I mean, because 0.2, that's fucking hammered.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't get that hammered. I've done it once.
But then too, you also
when I was
have
21.
Alcohol affect people differently. You know, you go by the body weight, their size, and all that. And if you had anything, she might haven't had anything to eat, and she's probably weigh like $120, whatever. And she said she had 3 vodkas or whatever straight. Yeah, that probably could have put her on her ass quicker than it would.
Yeah, but I still think that if I'm 0.20 fucked up hammered, which by the way, I would be shit faced at 2.20. I'd be throwing up probably. I don't even know if I could get myself that high anymore, that drunk. But I still feel like if you told me I killed 2 people,
that should sober you up.
That would sober me up, or at least get my mind right. Like I'd still be walking fucked up, and the room would be spinning, and I'd probably start throwing up. I don't know what
I'm gonna tell you.
I would be cracking jokes.
I had a guy. I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
He was riding with me. This was in Virginia. This is before my law enforcement career. I was in the military, and got pulled over. I was speeding a little bit, and I knew it because I had the radar, and it went off. It was dark. It was dark out on 295. Coming down Richmond, Virginia. He pulled us over, and my boy, he wasn't even driving. He was on the passenger side, and he reached. I always kept a lot of pennies and change in my ashtray. He reached and grabbed a handful and put the pennies in his mouth.
Does that work?
Hell no. I was like, "What are you doing, fool? Fool, you that hungry? We just tell him we going to Waffle House." He was like, "No, put some pennies in your mouth." I said, "Fuck you, man. I ain't put no pennies in my mouth." Shit. I popped a piece of gum, because I did have a couple of drinks, but I wasn't drunk.
Right.
And officer came up and he wanted to talk. My boy just shouldn't know pennies in his mouth. And I'm like, this motherfucker, he about to make it worse because he's sitting here with a mouth full of damn pennies and shit. And the officer gonna probably ask him some questions. And sure enough, he did. He got to asking him some questions and you trying to talk. And I was like, if this fucker swallow these damn pennies, I'm not gonna do no maneuver or nothing on him. His ass just gonna choke on them damn pennies. Stupid ass. But he swore that if the officer would have gave him a test, that he would have passed it, because the pennies.
I've heard that, but I knew it didn't work. But like, I've never actually had somebody try it.
Right. I had a dumbass friend in the military that tried it.
Did you know where pennies go? Like pennies are in like people's sweaty pockets.
Right. It was in my ashtray. I don't smoke, but shit, the ashtray won't clean. I know it won't clean. No. He stuffed it all in his mouth. Had it. I was like, damn. I was like, you know what? You can spit them motherfuckers out because I don't want them. After we was done, everything was all good. I passed the test. I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Because I'm glad because you wouldn't have been a cop if you were got busted. But look, we got a big week this week. You've got a comedy show at my distillery this weekend coming up, a Mother's Day thing. I'm excited about that. Oh yeah. You got a bunch of funny girls coming out.
Oh yeah.
Telling some funny jokes. I'm gonna sit back and laugh at that all night. We should be in the new studio by next week. Cool. We should probably be doing this from our brand new sets. And that's really exciting. Guys, I want to give a shout out to the live chats. Falconator Marines Bloodbath. TJR is up in here. Will Cray is always tactical, dude. Meat Potato. Mur 530 was in here. Thank you guys so much. Jonathan Bates. All you guys, man, listen, I could go on and on. We really, really, really appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. And if you would be so kind to smash that like button and join us at patreon.com/failurestop for lots of extra content throughout the week. But as for myself and Jay Derrell, we're going to get out of here because I've been working my ass off all day and I'm tired and I'm about to go to bed. So until next time, guys, guns up and giddy up.
I holla.